Hi again, folks. Cut. Hello again, folks. Welcome to another episode of Andy Outdoors. And this episode, I'm going to be visiting some local woods for an overnighter. I'm going to do a bit of foraging on this one. The food I've brought with me is literally a cup of soup, 2 sachets of coffee, which I probably won't use, a piece of ribeye steak and an egg. That's all the food I brought with me. I was going to go minimalistic, but decided to bring the dog, old Max boy, and there he is. And that inherently adds to the weight of the pack, because I've got to make sure he's okay and all that, plus his food and water for him. So just going to have a look round really. I've got 2 reference books with me. I'll show you them later. What is it, Max? He's seen something. Yeah, so I've got 2 reference books. One is got a lot of information in it about various wild edibles, mushrooms, shellfish, that kind of thing. And I've got one primarily just about berries. So I'm going to have a look round and see if we can find some berries. I know blackberries are out at this time of year, so I'll be getting some of them. And I'll bring you back in a bit, folks. Sorry I'm a bit out of breath, but I'm going uphill at the moment. And yeah, it should turn out to be a good one. Right, okay, folks. So I found some blackberries. They're growing all along here, but I'm not going to pick them because I will get some later on, because there's a place where there's some a bit closer. But I was just walking past and I saw these berries. Now I don't know what it is, so I'm going to look in my book now and try and identify it. And there can't be that many blue coloured berries, so it should be fairly easy to find in the book. There's only a couple of them. There's like one just there, one there, one down there. So I can identify the leaf, which is what I'm after. If you can hear the birds in the background, it's the buzzards. There's one up there. Let me have a look there. There we go. Right, okay, so this blueberry is Blackthorne. I've correctly identified it. They are edible. They are sometimes used, well, the fruit's called sloe. So sloe gin, you could do that, but they're generally not eaten raw as they are on the bush. So unfortunately I'm going to leave this one alone. But there we go, Blackthorne. There's blackberries everywhere, so definitely getting some blackberries. Yeah, so just spotted some rose hips there. Alright guys, just a disclaimer. Don't put yourselves in danger. Correctly identify before you even think about eating something that's in the wild. Some things are toxic, some things are deadly poisonous. Go on, Max. Yeah, so just be careful, guys. Just make sure you do your homework, or at the very least, take a field guide out with you, field book. identification book. I don't tend to touch mushrooms at all. I think there's only about 2 that I can correctly identify. So I don't really touch them at all. So yeah, I'm just going to continue now. Some more rose hips, and then there's hawthorn. Hawthorn's edible. Yeah, so I'm just going to continue now. Max is enjoying himself as per usual, so I might have to get him on. Well, I can see up there in the distance there's sheep, so I'm going to have to get him on his lead while I cross this next field. Nice big mushroom down there. Don't know what it is, so I'm going to leave it alone. And just over there there's some pheasants, but they've just all scattered because they see the dog. There's some thistles here with a bee going about his business. They're edible. Okay, so I'm not just foraging for food. There's a barbed wire fence here with some sheep's wool. All the sheep are in the field there. So I'm going to gather that for a bit of fire starting material. Okay folks, so an apple tree. The apples are a bit too high for me to get, but I'm pretty sure they'll be eaters. They look alright to me. Okay guys, we've just stopped for a bit of a rest. Max has had some water. He's probably hot, just as hot as me. I've just had some fizzy pop stuff. So we've climbed quite high so far, as you can see in the distance. You can see a ship over there. Yeah, so we're nearly at the woods now. We're right on the edge of it, but there's still a bit of a climb to do. So I reckon about another 20 minutes we'll be in the woods. Well, not even that, probably about another 10 minutes we should be in the woods. And can relax a bit then. But yeah, it's going alright. I've just been picking little bits and pieces up on the way up to this point, so I'll show you them later on. Not all food, just having a bit of a forage really. Right, I'm going to have 5 minutes here and then I'm going to carry on. Okay guys, finally at camp. As you can see, it's been used before, and throughout the video you'll see that it's been used before. I know that a charity group have used this area before now. They do leave it kind of untidy, but it's all natural stuff. There's no garbage and rubbish. It's all just wood really, logs and things. So I'm planning to sleep where Max is actually laid down now. I brought my bivy bag tonight and it seems fairly flat there. And I'll put the tarp between these two. You can't see that one, but there's a big pine tree there and this pine tree here. It's actually a Scots pine, so might have some pine needle tea later on. If I can get hold of any of the pines. But yeah, so I'm just going to put a piece of rope between there and there. Put my tarp over, and I use some of these logs to tie down to. Just not very high, you know. And then I'll just take you over to the table and show you what I've managed to forage so far. So here's my table that someone's kindly left me, a piece of wood. So yeah, a couple of pieces of slate. This one's very sharp on the edge, and that one's got a good edge on it there as well. A few blackberries, some feathers which you could make arrowheads out of, you know, fledglings, arrow flights should I say. Some wool that you obviously saw me collect off the barbed wire fence, good for fire starting. Thistles, these are edible, not the prickly bit at the bottom but the flower's edible, and a great big handful of stinging nettles to make a brew out of. So there's me little dog, wants to go to sleep. Well, he'll be able to get on me bivy in a minute. There's my rucksack obviously. So yeah, between this tree here and that tree there, I'm just going to put my tarp over and use some of them logs down there to tie off to, because it's pretty sparse for trees in this bit. And there's one there that I could use, a big one. Maybe use this one or that one to tie down to, but on the other side where the campfire is, there's hardly anything. Yeah, by the way folks, this campfire has been here for millennium. It always seems to be there. I just put fresh stones around it, so I can do my steak tonight. So I'll crack on, and there's something on the lens cap again. Yeah, so I'll crack on and get the shelter sorted out, and then put my bivvy down so Max has got somewhere to lie down. But I reckon he's pretty tired. He's come quite a long way, and I bet you he's following me now, isn't he? Yeah, he doesn't like to leave me side. Right, okay guys, the bulk of my rucksack was actually taken up by this, and it's basically my sleep system. So I've got inside here just basically my bivvy bag, my roll mat and my sleeping bag. Yeah, so it's basically my sleeping bag, my roll mat and the bivvy. So I've got in here is my inflating mat, then I've got my sleeping bag on top of that, all in the bivvy bag. So I think I don't mind if Max lies on that. So I've just opened the valve now to let some air into the bag. Stuff all this back in here. Use that as my pillow tonight. Not brought the inflatable pillow, guys, which is a first for me. I've got my coat as well, so I've put my coat in there. I think that'll be fine. Put my coat in there as well, unless I need it later on. And that'll do as my pillow. Right, so just going to get tidied up a little bit. I've got everything out at the moment. I might bring my table over here. Yeah, Max is laid down now. Might bring my table over there somewhere. It's a bit out of the way there. And then, well, it's only 4:10 now, so don't really want to light a fire till it's gone dark. But I'll need to get everything prepared like for that. And I'll bring you back in a bit, guys. just found a bit of live wood that's already fallen. I'm actually quite sure what tree it is, but I'm just going to use this for my skewer for my beef. So I'm just going to tidy it up a little bit, choose the bit that I want, take the bark off, and then just skewer the meat on it. Should work, with a bit of luck. Put a little bit of a binding around that. It's a nice lighting. Right, okay guys, so these are the two books that I use for foraging. This is the Collins Natural History Food for Free. This is a broader based book than this one. This just deals with wild fruits and berries really. This one covers everything from shellfish to mushrooms. Doesn't always tell you if they're poisonous. Well, obviously this particular one does, but the ones like this, you really need to do your research on mushrooms if they are edible. Yeah, so I know fly agaric's poisonous and it's marked in blue, and the death cap I know is poisonous, so that's marked in blue. Seaweeds, goes through seaweeds. What else is in here? And then we get to like common plants. Again, tells you which ones are poisonous. And then right at the front, you know, it's got rose hips, things like that. And then it touches a little bit on berries, but not as much as this red book. Obviously it talks about there's actually Rocky Mountain ash trees just where I am now. It does nuts as well in this one. So yeah, it's a really good rounded book, that is. I mean, I've got my notes there, and that little thing I printed off and laminated. Types of woods and how it burns. That's available on the internet, but I can't remember exactly where I got it from. So probably if you wanted a copy of that, just type into Google, type types of wood, and then just go images, and that should pop up. And so this one goes more into, I mean, they're quite heavy to carry as well. This one covers all berries, shrubs, also tells you if they're toxic or poisonous down here, when they can be harvested, what altitude they like to grow at, and also what height they grow to. So lots of information in that book as well. So they're the two books that I use. This one's Wild Fruit, a field guide to Britain and Europe. Yeah, I think I got that from the charity shop. It actually says £20 on the back, but I think I got that from the charity shop for a couple of quid. I can't remember where I got this one from, but this one's £9.99 usually. I think I got this one off Amazon. I'm pretty sure I did. So that's the books that I use. There's my skewer all set up now. Just got a little bit of a Y twig in there so I can control the heat a little bit. It does tend to roll this, so I've just got another stick that I'm just holding it down into position. I could always use a stone just here. instead of a stick, but the stick seems to be working. So it's not, what time are we on now? It's 20 to 6, so I'm thinking in the next half an hour or so get the fire lit, and start doing tea. I wanted to really do it before it went dark, so you could actually see what I'm doing, because it's not very easy to film in the dark. But I've just seen 3 people go past. Max let a little growl out. He's over there on his bed. Let a little growl out, just to let me know they're there. I don't think they saw us, but they was choosing a path which doesn't really go anywhere. And then we heard some twigs cracking, branches and twigs cracking, like quite far away in the distance over there. So I'm not sure if they're still in the area or not, but I don't really want to draw attention to myself. So I'll probably give it another 20 minutes or so, and then get the steak cooking. I'm looking forward to this steak. So yeah, I've got my Blackberries. I've got all my kit down here now. Got my little pantry, so to speak. Everything that I'm likely to need for tonight is out, like my torch is out. I can always just pick the whole thing up and put it under the tarp if it starts raining. So yeah, so I've got my steak, a couple of coffees and a cup of soup. I've got my nettles. I really want to try them, because I've never tried nettle soup. And I brought my titanium pots with me today, so I mean, these have been in the fire before, but they clean up pretty well. A little bit of cooking oil for the egg that's in there, and got a little bit of clear honey to go with the blackberries, which are probably sweating in that bag now, but there's only a few of them, about a handful. That should be alright. So yeah, so just waiting now for it to go a little bit darker really, but that's the setup so far. Tarps up between them 2 trees, as I said before. Just run my lines out to various trees that are around me. Bag needs to be brought in a little bit further, maybe down the side of me. Max will probably choose to sleep on that when I get into bed later on. Yeah, so that's the setup. Got a little bit of wood down there, and graded me wood there, so I've got twigs to start off with, then a little bit bigger, and then bigger stuff again. I'm really only cooking tonight, so don't really want to have it too big. Don't really want a fire too big tonight. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video so far. If you want to know more about the books, just leave a comment. I'll be happy to give you ISBN numbers and all that kind of thing, and the authors and what have you. So yeah, just listening to a bit of the radio. Been reading I've had the books out, been reading them. I did pick some rose hips on the way here, but after reading the book, there's quite a lengthy process to actually process them and make them edible. The seeds can be an irritant in your bowels, so you have to remove all the seeds and what have you. We used to make syrup out of them, I believe, from what the book's saying. During the Second World War, it was saying about the government kind of, you know, help people by telling them what to do with rose hips. So yeah, I've got my nettles. I've just tried one of these thistles. I think from what my book said, these are marsh thistles. So just pull them out. A bit furry in the base, but the tips are quite sweet. So again, it's edible. Doesn't taste of much. It's got no distinct flavour to it, other than its texture really, a bit stringy. So yeah, So yeah, so steak, a fried egg, and nettle tea, I suppose it's going to be. I've actually got a little stalk of nettles. They've wilted a little bit now, but I've got a stalk. Something that I've seen Ray Mears do is just waft it on the fire a couple of seconds and then just eat the leaves. The leaves are full of iron apparently. So I wanted to try that as well, but this it has gone a little bit droopy now. But I've still got a good handful to make a brew with. Right, I'm going to stop waffling on and I'll bring you back in a bit, folks. There we go. Now that's what I'm talking about, boys and girls. Nice piece of ribeye. Get that skewered up now, get it on the fire. Just past the steak just to splay it out a little bit, because it kept wanting to droop down a little bit, so it's looking good. So I've just got my pot resting now on the embers. That's nettle tea. Steak's looking pretty good at the moment. Just while my steak's almost there now. So the top of this pan, that's me. That's boiling away nicely in there. I'll just put a little bit of veg oil in it. I thought I'd just have my egg on its own while I'm waiting for my steak. I need to coat in that. Hopefully it'll be hot enough to cook my egg. But we will see. No, I don't think it's going to be hot enough, so I'll just leave that to one side for a second. And just sort this fire out a little bit, because I've made a cock up there. I think we need some more of the embers at the middle of the fire. There we go, that'll cook now. Tell you what folks, if I could live like this all the time I would do. Alright, won't be steak every night, but that steak's looking bloody lovely. Egg's nearly done now. Never use this the top half of the pan for a frying pan. Nettle brew's done. Tastes alright, but you could live on it, I suppose. Right, that's my egg done. Just let that cool down a little bit. Right guys, I'm going to nettle tea was alright, but I think I'll have a proper brew. Well, my egg was perfect, but it has left a little bit of a mess in my pan. Free range egg from we have a little place on our road that's got an honesty box. You have duck eggs and hen eggs there. You just put a quid in or whatever in the box. So, a bit of a mess, but nice. What I'll do is put my pan lid back on there. Try some of this steak. Because I think that looks perfect. Absolutely lovely. I always think the first time you have something, I've had ribeye in the past, but the first time you have it, I think it is the best taste, and then kind of loses it a bit. I'll have to sort Max out with some of this because he's looking at it. Yeah, it's like I had a carvery, and first one absolutely lovely. Then you have 2 or 3 more, and it's not got the same appeal anymore. Anyway, we don't want to watch me eat my steak all night, so I'll cut a little bit off for Max. You can try it. I'm sure he's going to like it. And I'll bring you back in a bit. Yeah, I think the steak reaches Max's approval. You're liking that steak, aren't you, Max? Eh? Nice bit of steak. You want this one as well? No, you're not having this. You got dog food anyway. It's good when you can forage ribeye steaks in the woods. I'm going to come here again. Right guys, on with desserts. Time's cracking on. It's now 7 o'clock, so we're going to lose light very shortly. No, I missed the bloody half of them. Well, I've got a few. There's a few in there. Nice little bit of honey. Just drizzle that all over them. Gonna make a right mess of my pot. So it looks. I know we're losing light a bit now, aren't we, folks? That works. That definitely worked. Very nice. Right guys, that's us just broken camp. It's about 9:30 in the morning. I had to cut the video short last night because just after I'd had my tea, I spotted some lights in the woods. I didn't know if there was hunters or whatever, so I didn't want to draw attention to myself, so I just bivvied down and had the radio on real low, and I watched the lights for about half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, and my main concern was if there was hunters or a hunter that they mistook Max for a badger or something, so just had to go a bit stealth, went into stealth mode last night. So anyway, yeah, I've left the camp pretty much as I found it. Sprinkled the ashes out the fire, around the surrounding area. The night wasn't too bad. Max was a bit restless at points. I think I've probably had about 5 or 6 hours sleep, I would have thought. But yeah, Max likes to get in the sleeping bag. Well, that's how he slept last night for most of the night, but he was up and down. Then he started growling because you could hear 2 tawny owls. And then this morning some, I don't know, birds of prey they sounded like. He started with them as well, growling at them. So, but I think he's well rested. He looks well rested, aren't you, Max? Yeah, he's happy enough. So yeah, just on my way home now, folks. So if I see anything on the way home that needs recording, then obviously I will put it in at the end. I always say that, but I never see anything on the way home. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for the next video. Over and out.